Hello everybody, my name is Juan David Rodríguez from Instituto Nacional de Tecnologías Educativas y Formación del Profesorado, and I'm going to present a work I have made together with my colleagues Jesús Moreno León from Programamos, Marcos Román González from Universidad Nacional de Educación a Distancia, and Gregorio Robles from Universidad Rey Juan Carlos. The work is entitled Evaluation of an Online Intervention to Teach Artificial Intelligence with LearningML to 10 to 16 years old students. As the title suggests, is a work intended to show or to explore how artificial intelligence content can be taught and learned in K-12 levels with a tool we have developed and which is called LearningML. Perhaps the main reason to introduce artificial intelligence content at the school is the high impact it is having in our society. In order to show an example, we can remember the protest around England in which, at the time of writing this paper, students challenged the A-levels grade provided by a predictive assessment system. In order to learn and teach artificial intelligence contents, some tools have appeared in the recent times. Some of these tools are Machine Learning for Kids, Coordinates, the Teachable Machine, or LearningML. LearningML is a platform that we have developed, and it is the basis of this work. Indeed, we have used LearningML in order to investigate if some machine learning fundamentals can be taught to students in the age 10-16. The goal of our work is to answer to the following three research questions. The first one is about the instructional validity of LearningML and says, can children improve their knowledge about ML fundamentals when performing hands-on activity with LearningML? The second question is about face validity of the tool and says, how do children perceive LearningML after developing some hands-on project with it? And the third and last question is about the perception children have of AI before and after having performed some hands-on activity with the tool. This presentation is devoted to show you how we have answered to these three research questions. Among all the works which has been done in this subject, we would like to point out this carried out by the AI for K-12 initiative, specifically the framework based on 5 big ideas about AI and what summarize all those knowledge that children should have about artificial intelligence. These 5 big ideas are perception, representation, learning, natural interaction, and societal impact. The third idea, learning, that is, computers can learn from data, is related with the machine learning, that is, with the tools we have developed. In this sense, in the literature we can find 2 approaches. The first one is to reveal the steps of training, learning, and evaluate in supervised ML, and the second approach is based on explaining how ML algorithm works by programming them. Our tool, LearningML, is based or follows the first of the 2 approaches. Our tool has been designed on the principle of low floor, high ceiling, and wide well, which has been used in the development of some successful platforms such as Scratch or Snap. Our goal has been to build a very easy tool to start with. In order to do that, we have avoided the use of any external AI service such as IBM, Watson, or Google, or something like this, and all the algorithms need to work are implemented inside the tool, so they runs in the web browser. Also, as I have said, the tool is a web application, so it runs in a web browser. You don't have to install anything but standard web browser. Also, you don't have to register in order to perform or to develop a full project from the start to the finish. But if you want to register, you can use some extra functionality, such as saving on the cloud, or sharing your work, or using the project shared by other people. And on the other hand, the tool has been designed in order to be used by students from the 10 to 16 years old, but also we think that undergraduate students and professionals who need to understand machine learning fundamentals can also find LearningML very valuable. In order to reach our results, we have used as methodology on the one side an assessment instrument. On the other side, we have designed a experimental study, and last, we have used a test network analysis. Our assessment instrument has been based on a previous work developed by some of the authors in order to assess a project of the Ministry of Education of Spain called the Computational Thinking and Artificial Intelligence School. In this work, a test with 20 questions about AI was developed, and we have taken a subset of 14 questions showing a greater statistical reliability and fidelity. We have added to this question several more questions intended to describe the sample, and finally we have added an open question asking for the definition of AI in order to answer the research question number 3. On the other side, our original plan for the investigation was to organize several in-person workshops in different primary and secondary schools, but due to the coronavirus lockdown, we have to perform an online experiment. We announced our intention to conduct the online experiment on a specialized education website and social networks. In particular, we made a call for primary and secondary school teachers, trainers, and parents interested in participating with their students or children. In this slide, we show the plan we have designed in order to carry out our online experimental study. On the first place, a student attending the experiment had to fill the process between 1 of June and 6 of June. Afterward, on 8 of June, an online workshop was emitted on YouTube. After this workshop, where some artificial intelligence fundamental and machine learning fundamental was explained, after this workshop, the student had to develop practical activity with LearningML. And finally, the student had to fill the post-test. Finally, in order to compare the differences between the answers provided by the student in the pre and post-test to the open question in which we ask for their opinion about what is artificial intelligence, we have used a text network analysis. To this end, we use a tool called Infranode, an open source tool, which enables the visualization of text as network. And we can see what are the relevant topics, the relationships, and the structural gaps between them. And finally, I'm going to show the results. In the first place, I'm going to show the sample description. 469 students were registered, but only the answer of 135 of them were valid, which is enough amount of a student in order to extract some statistical conclusions. We can see that most of the students were in the age 15-16. That is, it seems that there are most interest among the teacher of secondary in the artificial intelligence subject. And on the other hand, most of the people, most of the students were boys. This shows again the gender gap existing in this subject, in the technological field. On the other hand, most of the students had some programming experience with Scratch, or a little amount of them had programming experience in other language, and 20% had no experience. Finally, the majority of the students developed a text model of machine learning with LearningML. Regarding the instructional validity, we have found in the full sample that the intervention has had a positive effect. Indeed, we have computed an effect size of around 0.5, which is considered as a moderate effect, and consequently indicates that, according to the influence barometer, the educational intervention has fulfilled the desired goal. However, we can see that the score in the pretest is too high. This seems to show that some of the students had some previous knowledge about machine learning and artificial intelligence, but our design has been thought to students with no knowledge about artificial intelligence. So we have repeated the computation, the analysis, only with those students who has the score in the pretest inside the first quartile, in order to isolate, or in order to take into account only those students with no knowledge or with less knowledge about ML. When we repeat this analysis with these students in the first quartile, we can see that the effect size grows and is about 1.0, which seems that the intervention is even more effective. Regarding the face validity, we have found the following results. We asked in the test two questions. The first one was, did you find that LearningML is a useful application to learn about artificial intelligence? Most of the students think that they are strongly agree or totally agree with this opinion, which show that LearningML fulfill our intention, our goal, that is to be an useful application. And on the other side, we asked too if LearningML was a tool easy to use, and again most of the students are agree with this opinion. Regarding the face validity, we can conclude that our tool has fulfilled our goal, that is to be a very easy tool to be used by students in the age 10-16. Finally, in this slide, we show the results we have found when applying a test network analysis with Infranodo about the perception of AI by the children. We can see that the most relevant terms which have been used in the pretest by children are robot, computer, and learn, while in the post-test the most relevant, or some of the most relevant terms, have been solve, problem, and learn. This seems to show that the perception that children have about AI before the intervention has been influenced by the image promoted by the media. However, after the intervention, we can see that the idea children have about AI is more similar or more near to a computer science discipline, in the sense that artificial intelligence is something that is used in order to solve problems. So indeed, if we perform a search on Google about artificial intelligence, we can see that a lot of images of robots, of brains, artificial brains, and something like this. This previous idea has been shifted towards a more practical idea about artificial intelligence after the intervention. Our study has some threats to validity. This threat comes from the fact that the intervention has been online due to the pandemic situation. In fact, it was not under the control of the authors to know if children were helped by their parents while filling the test. Also, we cannot assure that all those who filled out the post-test also attended the training seminar. However, seeing the number of visualization of the training before the post-test supports the hypothesis that most of them watch the seminar. And also, many teachers send us projects made by the student, and this fact supports the hypothesis that hand-on activities also were performed by most of them. As future work, we wish to develop more activities and resources, and explore also how to unbox and explain the machine learning algorithms used to build recognition models. Also, we want to add new types of problems, sound recognition, voice recognition, numeric datasets to the types of problems which are right now supported by the tool, which are text and images models. Also, we want to add a confusion matrix to evaluation step. The confusion matrix is a very simple but effective way to evaluate, to see how well the model is performing. And finally, we also wish to develop an offline version in order to reach all those students which can have a problem with the internet connection. In order to conclude, we can say that we have found some evidence supporting the hypothesis that machine learning fundamentals can be taught to children in the age 10 to 16 through hands-on activities with LearningML. These results are in line with other works addressing the same problem. One of the main findings we have found is that LearningML has been proved as a useful and easy to use tool. On the other hand, children the age 10-16 can improve their knowledge about AI and ML with LearningML. LearningML is a tool very easy to start with due to that no registration is needed, no external AI server is needed, no installation is required. It runs fully in our web browser, and it uses a programming editor based on Scratch, which is a popular and very easy to use programming platform. I would like to outline also that we have defined or designed an online research alternative in order to overcome the COVID-19 pandemic situation. And finally, I would like to give you this link in which you can find a demo of the LearningML tool. And well, that is all. I wish this work is of your interest, and thank you very much for your attention. So bye bye.